This is how I plan to almost double my purchasing power inside of my Roth IRA this year. Now, I would say like doubling the amount of money I'm putting into my Roth IRA, but that would be a misnomer because right now the contribution limit in a Roth IRA is still, or it's $7,500 per year. Last year it was just 7,000. Now you can put in 7,500, and that's where you're contributing your own money into the Roth IRA, the money that you've already paid taxes on. You put it into the Roth IRA, and now you can deploy it towards different investments. And when you sell those investments, it will be tax-free because you've already been taxed on that money. And so one of the downfalls of Roth IRAs is the contribution limit. You can only contribute so much per year. But something that I just did that I'm going to be doing all year, it's going to maximize the amount that I'm actually able to grow. And this is not investment advice. This is not legal advice. This is not tax advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence and your own research. I got nothing to sell you. I got no Discord to join. I'm not giving out any life lessons that you pay me for or anything like that. Just sharing something that I've stumbled upon and that I did over the last week that I thought was pretty cool. So I went into my Roth IRA and I put 5,200 into it. So we're already almost maxed out of my contributions for the year. But there's a reason why I put so much in at one time instead of spacing it out. Instead of just buying different equities or ETFs or stocks like I did last year, because I max out my Roth every year, and then after that's maxed out, then I start contributing in my taxable account, my just regular investing account. But what I did this year is I took 5,200, I put it in there, and I started using options in there. So instead of just buying stocks or buying ETFs, I didn't buy any options. I didn't buy call options because that's a little bit more risky. I started selling options. So here's what this looks like. I went into my Roth. I saw a stock that I like. I like the price of it right now. I wouldn't mind owning 100 shares of it right now at the price that it is right now. And it was priced at $52 per share. I could have just took that 5,200 and bought 100 shares of it. I wouldn't mind buying it and holding it long term. I would like it. But instead what I did is I was like, okay, I like this stock. I don't mind owning a bunch of it. I want to eventually. But instead of just buying it outright, I sold what's called a cash secured put. And so when you sell a put option, basically what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to sell this option. So what it means is somebody's going to buy this option from me. They're going to buy the option of selling me these shares. They're going to reserve the right to sell these 100 shares of this stock to me at an agreed upon price. We're going to agree upon this price right now. And they're actually going to pay me right now for this option. And so you might be wondering, like, why would anybody do this? Well, the price of this stock was at $52 on the day that I sold this option to this person. And what I agreed upon was that, hey, between now and the end of this week, between now and Friday, what I will do is I will buy 100 shares of this stock from you at the price of $50. I said, hey, no matter, even if the stock drops way below 50 in this week, if it drops to like 47 or 48, I'll still buy 100 shares of it from you for $50 a piece. That's why the person who bought the option from me bought it, because they think that the stock is going to go down below the agreed upon price, right? And so if the stock does go down to like 47, well, that means they get to sell this stock for more than it's actually worth. And they get to do that at any time between now and Friday when the contract ends. This is just like a crash course for options. So they bought the option. That's always a little bit riskier. I sold the option. I said, hey, they paid me for this contract that basically I wrote, and I got $150 for it. But here's the thing, I had to put up the money, like collateral. So the money that this would have cost me, if they decided, if they decide, yes, I want to sell these shares to you at this price, then, it all happens on the back end automatically. If they decide that, then I would just have the 100 shares. And the only way that they would decide that is if the share price, the price of the stock, was lower than the amount we agreed upon. But what happened is it didn't go lower. The stock went up and the contract expired. So that means once it's expired, they can't take an action on it. It just expires. When you sell an option, like what I did, I want it to expire worthless. I want them to not be able to do anything with the contract. I want it to not make sense for them. And so because I did this and the stock price went up, it would make no sense for them. The stock price went up to, like, I think it's 56 right now. It would make no sense for them to want to sell their 100 shares to me for $50 a share. They reserve the right to, but it would be dumb for them to do that because they could just sell those 100 shares to anybody else for $55 because that's how much it costs right now. So they would much rather do that than exercise their option. So what does this look like on my end? Like, why am I stoked about this? I'm stoked because I already wanted the stock at the share price anyways for the long term. So the worst thing that can happen for me over that week was that, okay, they pay me $150, and that amount that they pay me, guess where it goes? Into my Roth IRA, and it doesn't count as me contributing. This is where, like, this little loophole is, where it's like I contributed my own money, but this other money came from investing activities. So it goes into the Roth IRA bucket. That means that 150 that I got from that, it's not going to be taxed. And it has nothing to do with my contributions for the year. And so they gave me that $150. And worst case scenario, the stock drops below the agreed upon price of the contract. And they say, yeah, we want to sell you these shares at this price. Then I would have those 100 shares in my Roth IRA. I wanted that stock anyway. I liked it at $52. Of course I'm going to like it at $50. The only thing is, if I didn't sell that contract, maybe I could have waited a couple of days and the stock price went lower and I bought it at the actual price. But the upside is that if they don't exercise on the contract, then I just get $150 for the week because I kind of took my $5,000 and I just set it aside. That's how much I put up as collateral. And then I got $150. The contract expires, my $5,000 is back. Now I have $5,000 plus $150 from them. And I can do this every week with different stocks that I like, that I want to buy at the price that they're at. And I calculated this. If I did this every week and I got $150 like I did this week for it, let's just say, 150 times, my brain isn't working that well. We just had a baby last week, so I'm a little sleep deprived. The baby's out on a walk with Mom and Mom's friend right now, so I recorded this quick little video. Let's skip the math and give my brain a break. But I will get more money contributed into my Roth IRA than the $7,500 that I'm allowed to put in from my personal account. And this means I'm actually able to grow my holdings in there even faster by doing stuff like this. Another way to grow your holdings faster in your Roth IRA is by investing in dividend stocks, which I'm doing as well. I have growth stocks in there too for the long term, but I have dividend stocks in there. Some like real estate investment trusts that give out like a 14% dividend. So you put $1,000 in there and you get $140 a year in dividends. That's just, $140 a year in dividends added. Those dividends go into your Roth IRA because they're going into your Roth IRA. They're not taxed. And so you can take that, you can use your Roth IRA to make more money that gives you more purchasing power or more capital to continue to invest in things that give you more capital that help you continue to invest in things. That it just makes the snowball effect of the Roth, in theory, work faster and have a little bit more power to it. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on this stuff. Are you guys doing any of this stuff in your Roth IRA, or are you just like investing in ETFs and playing it super safe? I tend to have more speculative investments inside of my investing account. That's my taxed account than I do in my Roth IRA. I have some call options that I've bought, but that is not in my Roth IRA because that's the most risky type of option when you're buying puts or if you're buying call options for the future. So I don't mind selling cash secured puts or selling covered calls. But we're not going to get into all different types of options. This is not an options video. This is just something that I did this week. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm going to continue doing it. And yeah, let me know if you guys are doing anything like this inside of your Roth IRA. See you in the next video.